Good morning, y'all, and welcome back. So today's video is going to be all about this guy right here behind us. This is our Grand Design Momentum 397TH, and we're going to do a tour for you guys today. We're going to show you the inside and the outside and everything we've done to make it ours. Before we get started with the tour, here's a quick sneak peek. Alright guys, I hope y'all enjoyed that. Now before we start the tour, I'm going to do a real quick recap of all the stats on this guy right here. And the first one, the most obvious, is it's a full body painted camper. Now ours is in the white color, which is this stripe right here. That's how you can tell what color it is. They also come in blue, green, maroon, and I think a darker gray. We actually searched really hard for the blue, but it's hard to come by because it's super popular. But we got such a good deal on ours used that white works out fine for us. Plus, it matches the truck really well. Now for the rest of this, I'm just going to start at the front of the camper and work my way back and talk about all the features. So up here in the front, we have a 5,500 watt onboard Awnings generator, which will power this entire thing whenever we're not hooked up to electricity. Right here, we have two 30-pound propane tanks. It's also built on this giant drop frame chassis, which means our underbelly storage right here in the front is huge, which because we full-time, we need all the storage you can get. Right here is our Lippert 6-point auto leveling system, which is awesome. We've never had a problem leveling this thing out. As we move back, you'll see we have 3 axles on this thing, and they're all rated at 7,000 pounds. So we got 1, 2, and 3. So this thing is actually rated at 20,000 pounds, and the unloaded vehicle weight is 16,300. So we have a payload in this thing of 3,700 pounds. Now we're gonna work our way around the back. Back here is our Toyhauler door. We'll show you more about that later when we let it down for our tour, but it's awesome. It almost adds an extra room to the entire camper. Right back here is our fuel storage area. We actually have 60 gallons worth of fuel. 30 for the front one goes to the generator, and we have a 31 that you could use to fill your toys up. We actually use both for our generator because we don't carry a toy back here. Well, actually we do carry toys. We carry all our kids' toys. We don't carry a fun toy for us. But whenever this one runs empty, we can use this pump right here to pump to the front one. So we essentially have 60 gallons of gas for our generator. And as we move up forward, we actually have 2 sewer tubes, one right there and one right there. And that's because this thing has 2 full bathrooms in it. In the back room for the girls, it's a full bath with a shower, and the master bathroom is a full bath with a shower. Now this is one of the reasons why we got this thing, not only because of the 2 showers and bathrooms, because of the tank carrying capacities. So this thing right here will hold 160 gallons of fresh water, 108 of black water, and 108 of gray water, which is amazing. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed the quick recap of all the things that this thing can do. And we're gonna cover everything in more detail as we get to it. And we're gonna break this tour up into 2 sections, the outside and the inside. And we're gonna start on the outside. So we're gonna start this tour at the front of the camper. And right up here on front is our Gen Y executive pin box. And it's rated at 30,000 pounds, and it is awesome. Now a lot of people have been asking, why did we change it out? Well, our stock pin box was the Lippert Rotoflex, and it was okay, but whenever you pair that with a brand new truck, this thing right here and this thing right here hit each other a lot more than you would think. So we made a video about our problem and why we chose to go with this, and if you're interested, we'll link the video down below. But this thing right here, not only did it fix our clearance problems, the suspension system is awesome. All right, so our next spot we're gonna show you is our front storage. It's where our generator is. So there's our onboard Cummins generator, and this is our front storage bay stacked up. You can see it's pretty full. It's because we full-time, we have a lot of things. So we're gonna unpack this thing and show you all the things we did inside there and how we made all this stuff fit. Did you have any idea how much stuff was in that front box?
I honestly, because I never go up there, I thought we had 2 of the containers here. I did not know we had 4 in there.
So we have 4 containers, some tarps, We used to have 6 chairs. One of them didn't survive the beach trip.
Yep.
We have our 2 rugs and our 2 small indoor rugs, or I guess the door rugs.
The door rugs for that.
All that fits up in there. All right, so here's our front bay. This is our Cummins 5500 watt onboard gasoline generator, and it runs off the fuel storage tanks we have in the back of the Toyhauler. So it has a 30 gallon dedicated tank, and we have a 30 gallon tank that we can fill it up if we run low. So technically we have 60 gallons to run this generator. Now I'm gonna show you what I did up here in the front so I can put all that stuff in here. So the first thing I did is this battery right here was installed sideways right here, making this almost unusable. So I rerouted all these wires and I covered them in this nice loom so it looks professional, unlike what Grand Design gave us. I turned that sideways and put it out of the way because there's a perfect spot for it. I don't know why they choose to mount it right here, which in their defense, I think the dealership actually does that, not Grand Design. But either way, that's not a good spot if you want to use any of this. And also, when I got it done doing that, this thing right here, this is actually a horse stall mat from Tractor Supply. It's about a 1/2 inch thick, but it really helps with everything from moving around and sliding when you're driving down the road. Now, in here, this is the stuff that I really am proud of. So in here, the storage was not like this. I actually built new walls and covered them in carpet so I could hang things on. I did the same to the top of the generator storage and the side. So everything in here is fully carpeted, just like the main basement. So let me show you why I put carpet everywhere. And it's because I needed to hang things on the wall to be organized. So we got this rope here because everybody needs a rope. We have this portable rake and shovel, as well as our spare tire wrench. I have my spare water hoses. I used to have a blue one here, but in the last video I showed you why it's not here anymore, because it did not survive the first test, which is just not to leak. Right here is my tire link system. So this is my repeater for my TPMS, so I can see it in the truck when I'm driving. This is our control board for our our bedroom slide for the Swintech. And this is actually a Level Mate Pro. It's something I bought before I understood how the hydraulic leveling system on our camper worked. Never used it because as soon as I park, the hydraulic leveling system takes care of itself. Top of the generator, so that when my containers are up here, they're not sliding around on top of the metal. Also, it makes everything a little bit quieter. I've added some hooks to hold the girls' fishing poles, as well as our, this is my extendable pole to wash the camper, and this is my broom that I use to wash the roof of the camper. And just like the rope, every man needs a hatchet. This is our hydraulic tank for our hydraulic slides and our leveling system. And over here, I don't know if you can see, I cleaned all this up. It actually involved me undoing hydraulic lines and wires and rerouted them so I can make it nice and neat, because I needed to utilize all the space I could, and some of these wires were running straight across in the way I needed to put things. So that's what the front storage bay looks like. The next thing is the propane system. This thing has 2 30-pound tanks. This is the passenger side. I'm gonna show you this side because there's actually stuff inside that matter. The other side is just empty bay. So this is one of our tanks. The other side has the same thing, but in here we store things. So we have all of our propane accessories so we can hook up our tank to external gas grills and our griddles. We also have this guy right here. This is our hydraulic control system for our slide. So when we stay at places and we only want one slide to move, this is how we control it. This one is for the kitchen slide and this one is for the living room side. So if you ever want to run just one slide at a time, all you do is close them. So turn them all the way to the right and only one slide will work. We also run these things right here. These are called gas stops, and they are our safety propane valve. So if you have a leak or a busted hose, it will kill this propane tank. We have one on each side. Before we move to our giant basement storage, which is my favorite part, this is my man cave. This right here, a lot of people have been asking about these blocks right here that we use for our leveling system. Well, they're homemade. I made them out of wood because when I looked at the Anderson blocks, they wanted like $170, and I was like, I can make something way cheaper than that. So stay tuned. I'm about to make a video and show you guys how we make those. So this is Kevin's favorite part. This is Kevin's garage.
Kevin's man cave.
Welcome to the man cave. It's got all kinds of storage and boy stuff, as Alicia would call it.
Things I never need.
Also, there's some Alicia stuff in here that she sneaks out of the house from time to time.
This is true.
So anyway, this is the way it looks when we are basically traveling. It looks like a lot's going on, but everything has a place and everything has a purpose. So we're gonna start by pulling everything out, and we're gonna show you how many things we have in there. Welcome to my man cave. Look at all this room for activities.
I know.
So much room.
If only you had all that space on move day.
Oh, if I had all this space, it'd be awesome. Look at all the stuff we had in here.
Hey, we could store some extra kids down here.
Maybe.
I know.
So all that fits in here.
We have quite a bit of things.
Plus there's 2 boxes on the other side that are for moving day and sewer stuff. So we'll start by showing you the inside and the things we did. So most of these campers from the factory, there's a panel that runs diagonal. That's not actually a squared off corner. It runs from that corner right there to about this ladder, making that whole part right there wasted space. So I decided I was gonna take down the angle piece and square off this wall to make it, you know, more usable space that I was missing out on. Well, once I took that wall down, I realized this wall could actually be moved back that way about 3 inches. So I moved that wall that way, we squared that off, and then I went to make the carpet match that was there, and I didn't have enough. And it didn't quite match. So I went and found a carpet store, and this is actually the stuff that you saw recently on the bottom of our bed in a past video. But this is marine carpet, and I carpeted this entire wall and that wall. And then I got over here and it didn't match, so I ended up carpeting that wall because I needed it to match. And then I had so much left over, that's why the generator bay has carpet on it, and that's also why the bed got carpet on it, because they asked me how much I wanted in yards, and I didn't understand the question, and I came home with enough to carpet an entire house. So anyway, now that the wall's carpeted and it's moved back, we have so much more room for storage. And the floor right here is the same thing that's in the generator bay. These are 1/2-inch horse stall mats from Tractor Supply, and it actually does help a lot with noise and keeping the stuff from moving when we're traveling. And I actually think it helps the insulation a little bit.
Yeah, and I also think it's easier to clean up than what would be there before.
So anyway, this is our giant storage bay. It's awesome. And now I'm gonna show you how we have everything organized. So this right here is my surge protector, my readout screen. It's actually behind the wall over there. But this is where I can read everything out. These are my propane tank readers, which, let's see if they work. They might work.
So in 18 months, I never knew those were there.
It's saying they're empty, and that's because I probably don't have the sensor on the bottom because we just moved.
Right, I'm learning with y'all.
So this right here is my water hose for this, show them right there. It's for the outside right there.
Oh yeah, for this one?
Yep.
For that?
Yep. So that guy right there goes right there. We also bought this paper towel rack. This right here is actually my battery chargers for all my DeWalt equipment, and I actually have it plugged in behind this little access panel right here. There's a surge protector back there with a plug panel. These are where I store my batteries that are already charged. This is our central vac system. So you can actually use it out here, or you can use it inside the camper. Right over here, I have installed these clips right here, and I use these carabiners and these Velcro straps to hold our spare extension cords. I had this ladder right here that I think goes up to 16 foot, and it's the only way that I can clean the camper or get to things on the top that I can't reach from the roof. So there's our backup power cord. There's actually our extension cord, and that's if the pedestal is more than 50 foot away. We've actually had to use that more than you would think. There were some times in Florida we were 100 foot away from the pedestal, so I have to use that guy plus the one that's currently hooked up. Right here in the front by the door is all the things I always use. So that's all my car cleaning products that I have on these little hooks right here. This is actually a Furrion Bluetooth speaker. It came with the camper, and we actually didn't use it at first because we didn't know how, but now that we know it's a flashlight too, it's actually pretty cool. Plus it's got this charging ports right here so we can charge all of our devices while we're outside. This is my grill cleaner and my slick mist, which gets used daily. And this is my drill, which also gets used daily if you own a camper. So we're over here on the wet bay side of the basement storage, and I'll talk to you about what goes in right here. So right here, these 2 boxes, they fit right here, and they're our most used items on moving day. It's the sewer, and it's all of our chalks and anything we need for moving the camper and setting it up. Our extra power cord accessories. So right here, when you walk in, if y'all can see, let's turn the light on. You got this right here, which is our cable satellite cord, which most campgrounds have a hookup for that. This is where our current power cord, this guy right here, hooks up for travel day. This is our extension cord I told you about. And this right here is my black tank flushing hose. And right here used to be 2 blue ones, but in the last video y'all saw, they got thrown away because they will not stop leaking. This is our shower hookup for our wet bay area, so you can plug it in right there and it's an outdoor shower. Right here I have my rubber gloves for sewer stuff and a paper towel holder for, you know, when you're done with sewer stuff. And right next door is our wet bay. So Grain Design uses the Nautilus P1 system, and it's actually really awesome. You can do almost everything you need to do from right here at this panel. So we can go dry camping, which is water from the tank, from the pump. We can fill our tanks. We can have, well, we got our setup right now to have water from the city to the camper to the faucets. We also have a winterize and a sanitize function. Now we've made videos on how to use all this, and if you're interested, we'll link them down below. You also have your outdoor shower, and you can turn on your pump from out here. These are your cable hookups. And we have a GFCI plug. Right here is our onboard water filter. And we recently did a video about that. It's rated at 5 micron, which doesn't matter anymore because we have that 3-stage right there that is 0.2 micron. So anything that makes it through there is not gonna clog this guy up anymore. And right here, we have our black and gray tank drains for the front of our camper. So this is our master bathroom black tank drain. This is our master bath and laundry or washing machine drain, and this is the kitchen and rear bath gray tank drain. And all this is heated, so in the winter time, whenever it's cold out, this right here and this entire bay right here is all heated by the furnace. So right here on the door on our driver's side is our auto leveling system. This is how you control the auto leveling system for the camper, and that's also how you control it when you're hitching and unhitching. Now that I've shown you what my man cave looks like when it's completely empty, I'm gonna put some things back into it and show you how we store certain things that y'all are gonna really like. This right here is a PVC pipe, and we just like to carry it around. No, it's my fishing rods, and I don't want them to get broken.
Right, those are his prized possessions.
The few I have left from our past life. So anyway, this goes in right here and just sits right there. And I'll show you what holds it in place. But whenever I want to get them out, I actually go to the other side and I just pull them out the other side. All right, so you see this piece of wood right here? It has a reason, it has a purpose. You know what it was for? What? To hold the fishing rods in place.
And other things.
It's just to hold the fishing rods, that's it. All right, so now the fishing rods are safe, we can go. Actually,
you just wanted to use the rest of your carpet.
So what this is for is I have a pit boss pellet grill and a Blackstone.
Yep.
And I needed them to be able to stack on top of each other.
To save space.
I built this little castle thing. The Blackstone goes down here and the pit boss goes up here.
So much better, and it doesn't slide on travel day.
Nope. So now I have my Blackstone and my pellet grill.
Yep.
All the things a man could ask for when he has to get rid of his house. I still got to keep the cool stuff.
That's all you would ever need if it was just you camping.
This is it. I need nothing else.
Those
just
three
the
things.
Fishing poles,
yeah.
the Blackstone, the pellet grill, maybe some of that stuff, I'm not sure.
Nah.
So that's the way the basement storage looks when everything is back in its place. We're actually missing a box, the swimming one. It's going to the grand's house because the girl's been playing in the pool. I'm gonna walk around over here and I'm gonna show you what the other side looks like when it's packed up. So here's the other side. There's the wet bay, and here's our moving day and sewer tube. So those are right there. We use those all the time. Everything else has a purpose, and it's based on how often we need to get to it. Are you learning too?
I am.
I feel like some of the things I say, you look at me like it's the first time you've heard of this.
There's several things that I did not know we had.
I'm not just out here hanging out, am I?
Your neighbors might say otherwise. Y'all get out here and start talking, and these flush systems, I thought they were quick, but sometimes they can take up to an hour if the conversation's real good.
Oh, it's the conversation. Why don't you tell them about those blue things while we have those there?
Well, if you're tall like Kevin, you have to worry about these things, but you don't want to bump your head on this.
Those are just pool noodles cut in half.
They hurt.
They hurt real bad.
I've only ever hit myself on the front one where the hitch is, but these have gotten Kevin a couple times. So that's the best 25-cent investment we've ever made.
All right, so since you're out here, I'll tell you what this is.
Okay.
So this guy right here is our furnace. It's how we get heat in the camper from the vents on the floor.
Oh, okay.
So when it's cold, that runs. It's also the same heat that heats the whole underbelly of the camper.
Okay.
This right here is your favorite part. This is our water heater.
Oh.
Our 12-gallon water heater.
Yeah.
I told them before, I don't know if they listened, but I said, you've always had a problem with hot water, and a camper is the first time you said, we're good.
Every house we've ever owned, I hate our shower because the hot water doesn't get hot enough, or we can't turn it up enough. This one, I can't use the hot water all the way because it gets way too hot.
I will tell you pro trip.
What?
Sometimes when we have good water pressure, I turn the water pressure down to about 50.
Yeah.
And you've never run out of hot water that way.
Right.
And you've never complained that the flow wasn't good.
Right, that it was not
But
enough
on
pressure.
60, I think you can run it out.
Yeah.
But we talked about getting a on-demand water heater.
Yeah, the tankless
But we
system.
said, let's try it out. And
Yeah.
this thing has never failed us, so we're gonna stick with this.
Right, we do pretty good. We bathe the girls, Kevin and me, every night, and we don't ever really run out. We might have to wait like 10 minutes between
Yeah.
a shower, but that's not a
Oh,
big
and I've
deal.
showed y'all a trick before, and
Yeah.
I'll tell you again now. We run both the electric and the propane at all times, and that's because the entire system runs off of a temp switch. So it doesn't matter if you have them on. They actually don't run unless the water in the tank is below a certain temperature. And when it triggers it, both the electric and the propane will kick on, making the recovery time much faster. And as soon as they reach the temperature that the temp switch is set at, they both turn off. So just because they're on doesn't mean they're actually doing anything.
Right.
A lot of people don't understand that. They think you can't run both. Okay, so there is our front dump tank, and that's actually our front black tank, our front gray tank, and our rear gray tanks all come out of this tube right here. You should get the Volterra cap because it avoids you having a weird situation when you take that cap off the end and there's stuff in that tube that comes to see you. So now we have a gate valve at the end of our sewer tube, so when we're hooking our sewer hoses up, we don't accidentally find out what's in the tube. Right here is our freshwater dump for our front tank. I told you it's a 160-gallon tank. It's actually two tanks. It's a 100-gallon tank up front and a 50-gallon tank in the, or 55-gallon tank in the back. This right here is our front dump for our 100-gallon tank. And then when you move back here, you have our rear sewer tube, which also has the Volterra waste-free gate valve on it. And this is just for our rear bathroom black tank. And right here is the pull dump for the black tank. And this right here is the dump valve for our rear freshwater tank. All right, so this guy right here, this is our rear black tank flush. So whenever we get ready to move, we hook our black water hose up and we flush the black tank through this valve. There's one in the wet bay up there for the front black tank. All right, while we're here at the wheels, I'll talk about these. These are the stock 16-inch tires and rims with the Westlake G-rated tires 14 ply. There's been a lot of talk about these, and we've had them for over 2 years now with probably 20,000 miles. And because we run a TPMS system, we make sure they're always filled up to 110 PSI. We've actually never had a single problem out of them, and I'm pretty sure when it's time to replace them, we'll get the same tires again.
Yeah, I couldn't believe how many horror stories we heard about them, and we almost replaced them before we even put 1 mile on the RV.
Well, the research says it's the E-rated tires, not the G-rated tires.
Yeah.
So it's the lighter tires that have been blowing
Yeah,
up. And the
so-
thing is, if they blow up, all this right here, that's metal. The paint starts up here. This is sheet metal.
And then if
Usually it rips all this all the way back. It rips the sewer tube off. It usually messes up the back jack.
yeah,
It's not pretty. So we were afraid that that would cost more than just buying 6 new tires.
yeah, but
I
we
mean-
saved ourselves money and
Yeah.
just tried. We decided we'd try it for just a little while and just see how they did on the TPMS, and everything's been fine. So I think we'll get the same ones again, honestly.
We will probably. For our suspension components, our camper came equipped with the Lippert Equiflex equalizers, and we decided to add some upgrades. So we installed the MORryde wet bolt kit and heavy duty shackles, as well as the MORryde cross members. I'm gonna crawl under there right now so I can see a better view, and I'm gonna show you everything I'm talking about. We're underneath the trailer now, and our Grand Design Momentum came stock with this guy right here only, the Equiflex equalizers made by Lippert. Now, we considered going to a full independent suspension and upgrading from the electric drum brakes to disc brakes, but I decided that was just spending money to spend money. So I decided to see how I could improve the stock system to make it more reliable without going overboard. So I went ahead and ordered the MORryde heavy duty shackles and wet bolt kit, as well as these MORryde cross members, which run from equalizer hanger to equalizer hanger against the frame rail. So it goes from that side all the way to that side, and we have one at each spot. So anyway, so far I've been really impressed with this. It's definitely made everything tighter and more structural down here. So this is our fuel station, and before I told you it carries 60 gallons. It's actually two 30-gallon tanks. The front one right here is 30 gallons of gasoline dedicated for the generator, and the 30 back here is for if you have a toy. So if you had a four-wheeler or a side-by-side or something, you just come over here, you get the gas pump, and this right here, you just turn the pump on and it'll fill up into your toy. For us, like the other night when we were coming home and we had gas in our generator, I come out here and I go from this tank to this tank and I pump it up. So essentially we have 60 gallons of gas for our generator.
I definitely didn't know we had a gas nozzle pump thing on our camper.
I'm not just out here messing around. I feel like this is the first time you've seen the outside of the camper.
They really thought of everything.
So we're back here on the back of the camper, and right here is our sewer tube holders. So our camper originally came with just one. I believe it was this front one right here. And after seeing how we use this, because we have 2 black tank dumps, we needed more than one hose, and 2 hoses do not fit in one. So I installed a second and a third. So when we travel right now, we have one 10-footer and 2 15-footers, and that gives us all kinds of combinations so that we can hook both the back and the front tubes up to the sewer. So this is the back door to the toy hauler. This is actually the girls' room, and there's nothing really fancy right here, but I will talk about the way we use it. So on travel days, this door being right here is awesome because we don't have to go into the main camper. Right. We come back here, we have the bathroom, and we have a sink, and we have tables set up so we can eat lunch on travel days.
Yep. I especially love that we installed the keypad system so that we don't have to have a key every time we come in and out. We can just punch in our code, and makes it super easy when you got kids and dogs and hands full.
We actually tried the famous ones everybody gets, the RV locks, they did not fit for us.
Right.
Well, they fit right here, but they didn't fit on the baggage doors, and that's what we wanted them for.
Yep. We
actually found out that this company is called Bauer. They actually make these stock ones that Grand Design uses, and they sell the keyless ones as well, and they're a perfect fit because they make the original ones. Right. So we called them up and said, hey, what do you got for us? And he told me some measurements to take, and he's like, you need this, 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 and this. And because they're made by them, they come keyed to the current key you already have.
Right.
So you don't have to have 2 sets of keys now. One key opens everything on this thing, and the keypad opens this door. This is the most unused door on this camper. Most of the time we forget this is even here.
I know.
So in here is something that we don't even know if it works half the time because we don't use it. It's an outdoor TV. I think we've used it twice. Both times were Super Bowl.
2 or 3 times, exactly.
It was a sporting event. We had people outside. So anyway, there's a TV out here, which it may or may not work still. It's been probably 6 months since we turned it on. And then you got these Rockford Fosgate outdoor speakers that tie into our interior speaker system, so we have different zones. So when we play music inside the camper, it can be in the main room, the toy hauler room, or out here out front.
Yeah, and we do use those.
We actually use that a lot.
Yeah.
So this is our main entry door, and just like the back door, it also has the Bauer keyless locks. It also comes with the MORRIDE step above step system, and Alicia's going to show you just how easy it is to fold the steps up in the front. So you open the door.
I love it because they're so lightweight, they don't fall on you. So there's no way kids can get hurt, dogs can get in it.
And they just fold in like that for travel days.
Yeah, super easy.
Also, we have this little, what do you call this? Like a ladder assist?
Yeah.
Right here, and this folds in to keep the door closed whenever you're traveling. And this right here is a grip that we put on. I'm not even sure where we got it from. I think Amazon.
Yeah, it's probably Amazon.
But the stock one was like a piece of rubber that literally fell off like very early on in our camping world.
It's like it got weathered and dry rotted, and it started cracking off. So we put this one on, and it's been great.
This one's been on for probably over a year.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And that right there, that is the map of everywhere this camper has been. And in order to earn a sticker, we have to sleep in that state and do at least one adventure.
Yep. Ashlyn keeps saying we got to do this one.
Yeah.
One day we're gonna go do this one.
The thing is she thinks that one is right there. She doesn't know that one's really up there somewhere.
Texas, yeah.
You just go to Arizona and make a left and you're in Alaska. All right, another awesome thing about this camper is it has 3 awnings. It has a giant awning over the front section. It has this one right here over the TV middle section. And it has a giant one over the rear section. So essentially, if the wind's not too terrible and it's not raining, we have 3 awnings that can almost shade our entire front yard. Now I will say, we've tried to be brave and leave them out in the rain, and it didn't get pretty. So usually as soon as it starts raining, or if the wind starts picking up, we pull them in because we're afraid of how much it's gonna cost to fix one of these guys, because they're pretty expensive, and we got 3 of them. So before we head inside and check out the inside of the camper, there's one last thing I'm gonna show you, and that's the roof of our camper. So I'm up here right now. We have 1, 2, 3 AC units on this bad boy, and it keeps the inside nice and cool. We also have 3 max air fans, one right here for the rear bathroom, one right here for the kitchen, and one right here for the main bathroom. We also have slide toppers over our bedroom, our refrigerator and kitchen, and our living room. You can see the big one always collects water, but they're awesome and I would still put them on. Now the big thing about this roof is you may have already noticed it. It is not the stock roof. And that is because we had a major failure of our roof within the first 6 months of using it. But because we're the second owner, we had to figure out how to fix the problem ourselves, because the dealership and Grand Design did not want to assist us with this because we were not the original purchaser. But even if they did, all they want to do is put the stock roof back on, which already failed. So we made a video about it, and we're actually completely happy with the whole process. We went with RV Armor, and they came out to us and ripped the entire existing roof off and applied their own proprietary membrane and 3-stage sealant process. And now we have a lifetime warranty on the roof. So that's gonna do it for the outside tour. Now let's head inside and show you the inside of our camper.
Hello, welcome to our home.
Welcome to the inside of our Grand Design Momentum 397TH. So I'm gonna give you a real quick sneak peek of every room. So this is our kitchen and living room. Back here is the toy hauler. And like I told you before, I wasn't lying. It literally is a toy hauler. All we carry is toys back here. It's so true. So up here in the front, we have the master bathroom and the master bedroom. And we're gonna start our tour by showing you everything in this room first. I started this video by explaining all the things on the outside, which is why we chose this camper.
Right.
But the other half of the puzzle is the floor plan that we chose is because all the things on the inside.
Yeah.
So there's many campers that satisfied our needs on the outside but didn't satisfy our needs on the inside.
Right, and vice versa.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this room right here, the master bedroom,
Yep.
is only 1/3 of our camper, but it made up a big choice, and right behind you is why.
Right. So this was my main concern, is that I wanted this up front with us in the master bedroom versus back in the toy hauler.
Because it's a prep. They say it's prep, right? Well, our dryer vent just goes out the side, the little duct out there.
Yep.
When it's in the toy hauler section, it's in the middle, and there's no good way to get the dryer vent out. That's why most people run a combo unit. We run stackable, so we have a separate washer and a separate dryer.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, people may say this is high maintenance. I would, even if we didn't full time, I would still have a washer and dryer in our camper.
I think so too. I mean, we use it literally daily, multiple times a day on most occasions because we have so much laundry. But if it was just you and I think the convenience of it just outweighs going to a laundromat.
Also, people always ask, what is it like? Well, I'll tell you this. The washing machine is almost identical to a house machine. You can throw as much in there as you want.
Yeah, you're if you read the manual, you're probably not supposed to, but in 18 months, nothing's broken.
The dryer is the one thing that does change.
Yeah.
It handles almost everything until you start getting to towels and linens and that type of thing. And then you have to start reducing the amount of things in there. So if we're doing a big laundry day, I usually take all that stuff to the RV laundromat, and she handles our clothes in here no problem.
Yeah.
Now it will handle towels, but it's one of those things. You might want to dry them every night after you use them.
Yeah, I usually break our towels up into 2 loads just because it will all fit in one for the washer, but it takes forever to dry with our towels. And we do have quick dry towels, so I like to break those up and then just send the sheets and blankets and things with Kevin. So the other main thing for me is that I wanted a king bed. I didn't care if it was an RV king or a short king or any of that. This model allows you to have either a queen or a king. We did opt for the one that's a little bit smaller. It's a 70 by 80. And here's a little plug. We bought Brooklyn bedding.
Yeah, through rvmattress.com. So it's Brooklyn bedding.
And we bought this mattress before we ever took our first trip. We did a lot of research. We got great reviews, so we bought this. And they've actually reached out to us, and we have something in store for you in a future video for the girls in the back toy hauler room.
That's right. So there may or may not be some more of these installed back there. But we're gonna have to do some modifications for that video, but those are coming out soon.
Yeah.
So anyway, to make this fit, we actually had to remove the 2 end tables on the side of the beds,
right,
so it would fit in, and it's slightly tight, but it stays.
Well, and I've read some people have actually put the 72 by 80, so 2 more inches.
Yeah.
Which we didn't want to have so much trouble pulling it in and out, so the 70 works just fine.
So it comes up on this thing right here, right? So this is our underbed storage.
Don't mind the mess.
And it's not terrible, but I decided to make it better.
Yeah.
Remember when I had all that carpet?
Right.
We didn't want.
Uh-oh, it's coming up.
We didn't want to have
the mattress.
the struts.
Right.
See? So we didn't want to have the mattress sliding back and forth on just plywood.
Right.
So we covered the bottom of our bed in carpet.
Yep, and it has worked great. It makes it easier to get it in and out, to put the sheets on and all that.
We also had to install heavier struts because this mattress is much heavier than the stock ones. This is the front closet in our front cap area. So it's the very front of the camper.
And I will say it's a little empty right now because we did move a lot of things out. So a lot of our clothes are gone and extra storage. But mainly I use these back shelves for storage, things that we don't use every day, batteries, things like that. Then I had Kevin install the shoe system. We did have to modify the length of it, but my mom's a great seamstress, so she did that for us. And then he even extended out this shelf. So standard, it comes with this curved shelf here, which leaves so much room that you are not utilizing. So Kevin built me this. He put a little lip on it, which is great because they don't fall out on travel days. And now I have all this storage up top. And because I made this shelf, so the stock light is right here above the shelf, right? So there's the shelf. Well, when I put that shelf in the way, you couldn't see down here anymore. Yeah, it was a little dark down here. So we installed these lights. Yeah, and these are great. They're push lights. You can put them on timers. They definitely brighten up the space, and we just got those on Amazon. And we covered every one of our shelves and the shelf liner stuff. Yes, just to help things from slipping on travel days. So we also have a TV in the room. I will say for the first 15 months. Until you were really pregnant, we never even turned this thing on. The couch is no longer comfortable for me, so I want to be in a bed. So for the last 3 months, we've definitely been using our TV in our bedroom, and we even added a little sound bar so that we could hear it a little better. Yeah, because the sound on these are not great. The speakers are in the back. And the thing is, this sound bar is not always going to be here, but we just actually got this not long ago. Yeah. I'm going to figure out how to mount it permanently over there. Yeah. But with that right there, we actually enjoy this TV almost better than the main TV. Right, I love it. So we hardly watch the TV out there. That's become the girls. And then because we took away my side table whenever we added there used to be a side table right here. Yeah, the mattress. We added a little side table, and I just put that in the closet on move days. All right, so I have a big man cave, which means I gave up space inside. Check it, this is my entire wardrobe. He has a little bitty closet. Like hers, most of my stuff is at Grandpapa's house. But originally this thing didn't have these two shelves right here. It was just one open space, and you had to stack things the whole way. Yeah. So I made these two shelves right here, and then out here, this shelf wasn't here either. Okay. So which is weird because like there was this giant area of unused space. Right. So I made a shelf to match. So now instead of having 3 shelves, I have 4. Right. And right here, it's really cool, is we have all of our cell phone plugs and our adapter so we can charge everything at night. Yeah. It's she has one over there too. Yeah. So all in all, the reason we chose this model is because the other model we like, the $399, the bed goes this way. Right. And it makes everything up here weird. Right. And this is my storage. I get a little more than Kevin. Yeah, she gets all that and all that. So one other thing I wanted to mention was just like how I had you add the shoe holder, shoe rack thing in the closet. Yeah. I also have 2 that I hang on this door and the door here. And they just have little hooks that go over the door. So I put like our dryer sheets and any lost pair of socks, things like that in this one. Those are at and Papa's. And then over here, I switch it out seasonally. So right now it has bathing suits and the girls' swimsuits in it. And then in the wintertime, we put our scarves and hats and things like that in it. All right. I'm gonna show you guys a pro tip. So when you're laying in bed at night and your wife says she's hot and you don't want to get up to go change the AC, right here, there's a thermostat for the AC. You just get up and go like this. Watch this. In 3, 2, 1. There it goes. Saved yourself a trip to the other room. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the master bathroom. Hey y'all. Hey. So anyway, this is one of the big things why we like this camper, this model, because look at this shower. Yes. I am not leaning down. I'm not. Right. It all works out great. Yes. So anyway, in here, this thing is more than enough room. And honestly, when we first got it, I wasn't sure if I was going to like it. Right. The first night we stayed, I was like, this is going to work out just fine. Right. So what we did in here is we installed this Oxygenics high flow shower head. So no matter what the pressure is on your campground, this thing right here, it does some fanning stuff, and so basically it's
nozzle jetting to make it feel like it's more water than it actually is.
It's great.
And then we add these things right here to hang our accessories.
Yep, those came.
We have 2 up here too.
Yep, they came from Amazon, and they came in like a pack of 10, so we can link those.
And then there's no light in here.
Yeah.
And Alicia needs a light.
Yeah.
So I added these guys right here.
Just like in the closet.
Nice.
Yep, you just push them and they turn on.
Now, if you come up here, this is just bathroom stuff.
Yep.
You can see, plenty of room. It's our medicine cabinet.
Yep.
Also pretty empty.
We put tension rods here on travel day just to keep things in place.
Yep. And this is another one of the cabinets that we had to modify when we started. So when you open it up, there was no shelf right here. Yeah. So it was just a big giant area with, it made it hard to do things. You have to stack everything.
And it goes back really deep over here.
It goes back to about right here, I think.
Yeah, you have a lot of space. So having Kevin add that in has really helped maximize space.
So you know what's funny about that shelf?
What?
Is that shelf doesn't fit to that door. So I had to build the shelf outside, and then I realized it wouldn't go through the door.
Yep.
So the shelf is actually about 7 pieces, and then I had to reassemble it inside there.
That's why I call you the handyman.
Too bad we weren't filming.
And then a lot of people have concerns about where to put your toilet paper holder. So I opted just not to put one on the wall. We got this little stand instead, so it holds the extra toilet paper, washcloths, things like that. And then under here is where we put extra bathroom things and then a trash can.
Also, we changed this out too. This is new.
Yeah.
This is not the stock one. This is a Lowe's special.
Yep.
So this one and the girls got changed.
Yeah, the other one, it was a lot lower, so your hands couldn't really get under it. And then this one's great because you can move it to where you need it to be.
And my favorite thing about this room is this guy right here, the Max Air Fan.
Why is that?
Because you can take a shower, hit that button, and it clears the steam out of the room in like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
Before you get out, it's done.
Yeah, it's great.
And we have one in here, we have one in the kitchen, and one in the girls' bathroom.
Yep. Okay, so as we walk in, we just added this to hold our keys. Our dog's leash goes up here. And then in the entry, I put this little basket where we hold the little brush if we need to sweep up the stairs really quickly. And then we put extra shoes in there as well. We also have a central vac in here. So you just hook your hose up right here.
And it'll actually reach the entire camper.
It does. It'll reach all the way to the back, all the way to the front. It's excellent. We do keep it stored outside in Kevin's man cave. And then we have this. This is my favorite thing about the RV camper, honestly. So you sweep and all your dust goes in there and magically disappears. I told him if we ever get a house one day, we're getting that.
So as soon as you walk in the camper, the first thing you see is this right here. This is our one control system, and it controls everything in the camper. So you can run your awnings, your generator, all 3 AC units. You can control the leveling system, all the lighting. The monitor panel is to control all your tanks and all your functions for your water. And then you can control the slides. And the cool thing about that is my phone will sync up to this, so I can be outside and make changes to anything I need to make without being inside the camper.
Yes.
So this first cabinet, so much storage.
Yes.
It's actually got no storage.
That's actually where your bathroom storage is.
Yeah, well up here. These two right here is actually the back of your bathroom towels.
Yep.
This right here is our Bluetooth audio system. Yep. So it actually controls the speakers in this room, the speakers in the Toyhauler, and the speakers outside.
Yep.
Also, we just found out it's a DVD player. So if you put a DVD in there, it actually plays on the TV.
It plays right here on this TV.
We went almost a year without knowing that. Everybody was like, we have a DVD player. We're like, we don't. And the next thing is this guy right here. This is the fuse panel and all the breakers for the camper. Luckily enough for us, we've never had to troubleshoot anything there, but that's where it is.
Okay, so there's also another boy thing in here, I'll just say, and it was hidden from me for over a year before I realized that under here is not just charging plugs. You have your USB, your regular charge, but there's also awning and slide.
And there's this button that she just learned about. She wonders how to turn the lights on so fast.
Yeah.
There's a button that turns every single light in this camper off and on right here. So when you walk in the dark, you don't have to search for this.
Right.
You just hit that button.
He'll come in before me and I'm like, how did you touch the panel so quick to get the lights on? And it's just that.
So there's a few things we add to this door. I know it's just a door, but this thing right here, it's called a screenshot. It is so whenever we open the door, it's got a tension in it and it closes the door back. Because we had kids, we wanted to make sure the door always stayed closed. We also got this right here. It's called the Screen Defender, and it slides in place. We got it because we travel with the dog, and we didn't want him messing up the screen that's behind it. Turns out he doesn't even care about this, but our kids love to take Cheetos and grind them up through there because it's like a Cheeto grinder.
It's a grater. Also, let me show them the pro tip.
What's the pro tip?
The pro tip that another mom taught me. Oh wait, let me open it. So if your door's open and you don't want your baby to fall out, just pick your thing up and now baby can't fall out of the steps. That's been a lifesaver.
The last thing is our door did not come with this shade. This is made by Lippert and it's called the thin shade. We actually added that and it's actually super simple. It just snaps in place and pulls down. But the bad thing is you can't do anything with it with the screen door. So we installed it like 2 years ago and it's been in that position since.
Yeah, we never
because if somebody knocks on the door, we're not going to stand in front of the door. We're going to come over here and be like, who there?
Okay, so one thing I didn't know about RVs until we started looking is that sometimes it's a false door. There's not actually a cabinet there. So we got this one and it's false here because again that's the bathroom cabinet. So we just added a little whiteboard and a little corkboard, and then we added in these so that we could hold more dishes. So works out great for everything that we have.
Usually when we get to a place, I'll write down a list of all the activities I might want to try.
And then over here we usually put like the park rules or any of the check-in information, the Wi-Fi passwords. We just put that there.
We have an oil-cooled refrigerator like almost everybody else in the industry. We do not have a residential unit, and that's because we travel so much. We actually prefer to have the option to have propane or electric.
Right.
So this has worked out fine for us. There's been a lot of people that said there's been problems. We've never actually had a problem with it being too hot. We have a problem with it being too cold most of the time. The main reason why we like this floor plan is whenever that slide comes all the way in, it's against the island, but this door still opens.
Yeah, we can access this.
So when we travel, we leave the things we might want on this side, so that if we're at a rest area, say we have sandwiches or drinks or anything stored in there, I'll come in through this door, grab the stuff, and then I'll walk back out, because when this slides in, it actually blocks, you can't walk in, and we'll eat back there in the Toyhauler section.
Okay, one of my other must-haves was that we had to have a pantry, because I'm not a fan of things being all over the countertops. This has a huge pantry in it. So it's a little empty right now because we took a lot of stuff to my mom's. This is the girls' snack row, obviously. All of that went to the grandparents' house, but we keep our extra trash bags and everything in here, and the storage is fantastic.
We've actually hardly ever had that full.
So on this side of the island, we have our oven. We have a 3-burner cooktop, and then we have our microwave and convection oven combo unit. This honestly is what gets used the most.
We've never actually used that.
We've never ever used this.
Honestly, you want to tell them what we really use the most? It's up here.
Oh yeah, Kevin has
this air fryer right here. It goes right here, and that's what you use the most.
Yep, that and our convection and microwave. That's all.
We've shown you the cabinets, the fridge, the pantry. Now an overview of the entire area. So our kitchen has an island in the very middle, and it's got giant sinks in it.
Yep, it's got 2 sinks. They're separated. We can have extra countertop by putting these on top.
We actually have a cover for this one.
Yep.
It stays out of the way most of the time on that stuff over there.
Yep.
We have 2 bar stools right here. And then this is where the camper changes. So our camper came with a couch that had 5 seats in it. But we travel with a dog, and that's Buddy's house. So we removed 2 of the middle seats and made it a 3-seat couch. We installed Buddy's cage here, and most of the time it's like this. He just comes and goes as he wants, but that's his bed, that's his space. No one goes in there but him. And then right here we have the girls' chairs and their table, and usually the table and chairs are set up right here in front of the TV and the fireplace.
And my favorite thing we did was we added the curtains in here.
That's right. There was no curtains. All they had is these blackout shades, which are awesome, but we wanted to make it feel like home. So we added all these curtains, and I believe they're in every room but the bedroom.
Yeah, except our room. And they had these little side panels on the side here. We went ahead and took those down, and so they're blackout panels. They do great with the heat or the cold, and I love them. Yeah.
We'll show you the magic behind the curtain, right? So this is our loft. The girls show no interest in this yet, but one day they're going to, and it's going to mess up our attic. Because right now, this is our storage for all of our paper goods. So our toilet paper, our paper towels, and all of Kayla's diapers. Soon to be baby boy's diapers.
Yep.
This is also where we store all of our merchandise.
Yep.
Should any of y'all want some, reach out on Facebook. There is some left. And then everything back there is nothing but toys.
It goes all the way back.
Welcome to the girls' room, otherwise known as the actual toy hauler. So when you get a toy hauler, this is a garage. It's a pretty boring space, and it's cold because it's a rubber floor, metal walls. It's not that homey. and we decided to make it homey. So the first thing we did was we added a carpet from my favorite store, Lowe's.
Lowe's knows.
Also, we needed to add places to store the girls' clothes. So this guy right here, this guy right here, and what you see right there are all permanently attached to the walls.
Yes.
So I got some of my carpet and covered boards and found the studs and put like a track system on that I could screw these things into.
Right.
So they can come out whenever our needs change.
You can kind of see right here.
Yeah, so
like
I found the studs and made a board that's in the stud. That way it didn't matter where the component or the piece needed to go, I could screw into something solid.
Yeah.
So anyway, all this stuff is here to travel like this. We never have to do anything but put tension rods right here.
Right.
So on travel days, we put tension rods, but the furniture itself stays in place and it works out great. Now, I did do one modification back here. So these two things, this one right here and that one, they didn't have a shelf in the middle. So I made a shelf in the middle so we could have two things stacking. And then Alicia's mom made us little covers. I don't know what you call these. These aren't really curtains.
Kind of curtains, but they hide our junk.
Yeah, yeah.
And do we put tension rods up there? I can't remember.
Not anymore.
Okay.
We've reduced the things that go up there so nothing really falls out anymore.
And they have a lip on the front.
Also,
so.
I installed this thing right here, just drill a hole. It's girls' accessory hanging thing.
Yep, more toys.
Whatever you call that. And then back here, so Alicia's mom made curtains for both the windows, and she made this giant curtain to cover up the back door.
Right.
Which we'll show you in a minute whenever we open it.
Yeah.
And then the girls had their own TV right here that comes down.
Yep.
So it's usually about right here, and they watch it. Also, it's the perfect height to hit your head if you're an adult.
I might should add pool noodles to that.
And then they had this Happi Jack bed system. So up there is a queen size bed, and right here is also a queen size bed that comes down. So you can lock this top one in place and lower this, and it can be a bed down here, or this converts into chairs, which we've never used.
Right, they become like little couches, and there was even a hole in the floor where you could set up a table, but we didn't need it for that purpose.
We've actually never used those, and this is the last time you will see them in this camper, because our next video is I'm taking all this out so that we can make a more permanent solution for dual queen size bunk beds.
Hey, does anyone live in Texas that needs Happi Jack system couches?
Just the couches, just the couches.
Just the couches. You could have them.
So this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But we're gonna make it better and more useful for our actual needs. And now, turn around, and it's the girls' bathroom. This was a big thing whenever we were looking for campers. We had to have 2 bathrooms.
Yeah.
What do we have to have now?
So we thought we need 1.5 bathrooms.
We actually just need 2 toilets.
Yeah.
Because you'll never use that shower, because most people don't understand. Try turning on 2 showers in an RV and see who gets mad first.
Right, or even going back to back, it's just such a small shower that it really serves no purpose for us, but it is our laundry basket holder for dirty laundry, and then occasionally I use it as a drying rack for any clothes that we don't want to dry, but that's really about it.
And then right here, we have these little shelves right here that she stores all of our extra bathroom items and toiletries and anything that we need for our master bath. Yeah. And then you come in here, it's got a little vanity which has a few cleaning products in it, and it's got a sink. But really, if we had to do it all over again, we just need a sink and a toilet. This doesn't actually need to be here because we've never actually used it. The girls' back door back here has the same components on it. So we have the screenshot and we have the screen defender. We also added this guy. Did you turn it on?
I think so.
So that's a door alarm.
Yeah.
So we added that so we know if they're trying to sneak out the back door.
I was a little worried when we first got here, like, is Ashlyn gonna try and go out in the middle of the night? So we have that, or you can make it an alarm. So
some of y'all have probably never seen any of this work. We're gonna show you. So this right now is the way the girls' rooms looks throughout the day when they're playing. We're gonna show you how we move all this stuff right here and what the beds look like when they come down. We have everything laid down. Show them how we lay everything down for nighttime.
Yep.
So we lay all that stuff down, and then we come over here to this panel and we let the bed down.
So that, by pushing that.
And now they're both gonna come down. Now we can lock this other bed up top if you want it to stay up, but Ashlyn likes to be at low because it feels like a fort.
Yeah.
She likes treehouse mode. So anyway, it's about to stop, the top bed's about to stop.
It's just important, anything you store underneath, that it's not taller than where your lowest bed goes down.
Don't mind those pillows. You can blame it on me. I put those in there, so Alicia didn't know that was going to be there. Otherwise, y'all probably wouldn't be able to see this.
Yeah, that shouldn't have been there, but that's okay. That's all coming out. We got big plans for this space.
This is probably the last time you'll see it down.
Yep.
So anyway.
And there it is.
This is how nighttime is.
Yep, and show them where we store.
So under here is actually the ladder to get up here and the ladder for the loft.
Yeah. So it just attaches to this right here.
Goes right here.
And then people can get up when we have guests. They
so when
go
we have
stay
guests,
up there.
this has worked out great because this is a full-size queen and it's nice.
Yep.
Plus they're right there underneath the AC vents and it's awesome.
Right, and then there's an extra light right over here that they can turn on if they need it.
And this is Ashlyn's bed.
Ashlyn sleeps here. Soon to be Ashlyn and Kayla are gonna sleep here. So we have room for baby number 3.
All right, so we're gonna put all this back up and then we're gonna show you one of our favorite parts about this room. They have their own balcony. All right, this is my favorite part of this camper.
Yep.
Also, super inconvenient now because look where we're at.
Not the safest setup right here.
It's because the site falls off so bad.
Yeah, it falls off big.
Here we go. Now you have a 2-story balcony.
It's so awesome.
So anyway, I'm gonna go inside and we have these screens right here that come out and make this whole area screened, and we'll show you what the patio looks like from in there. Hello.
Hello.
And welcome to my clubhouse. So you got these cool little, I don't know what you call them, screened areas.
Yeah.
And they come over here and they just lock in like that.
Lock into place. Yep.
And here we go. We actually have a locking door too. And the girls love to play out here. Also, there's an awning that comes out. So we're back outside and I want to show you something. So I'm 6 foot tall and this is the bottom of my steps. That's because we have this giant hill right here. And this is a good example of why we chose not to get the steps that come off the back ramp door to the ground, because they're not adjustable. Well, I mean, they are adjustable by like 4 inches. So more oftentimes than not, this is what the back door looks like. It's too far for you to walk in and out of. Plus, if you get the steps, you have to find somewhere to store it in the camper when you're not using them.
Yep, and I've heard they're very heavy.
They are very heavy. I think they're like 50 pounds.
Yeah.
And they're super inconvenient.
Very bulky.
And I will say, most of the time, like the beach one,
yeah,
couldn't even take this door down.
Right.
There's a lot of places we're so big that we may be able to fit in the site, but there may be something back here, a fence, a wall, a tree, anything that keeps us from using this back door. So our Toyhauler came with this new 3 Seasons door. The earlier models didn't have it this nice. They had these screens with like a flat material and like a zipper.
Yeah.
This is actually a hard door. It's got a screen right here and it's got windows that raise up and down. So you can raise them up if you want to have the back door down but keep your AC in.
Yep.
Or you can have it like right now if the weather's nice and have a screen.
Right. They've been very convenient.
Come out here for a tour of
Okay.
my clubhouse.
Of your clubhouse. It's almost like a tree house here. You're like in the tree.
So anyway, we have these foam numbers that go down on the floor, so it's actually not that hard on the girls when they play out here.
Yep.
And we line up their toys a certain way to keep things from falling off.
Right.
Also, Buddy likes to lay out here. And the reason it's so hard is because when we bought this, we were told about the leaking door problems.
Right.
So I actually used the, I think it's called Rhino Liner.
Yep.
I'm not sure, maybe it's
Rhino Liner.
Is it Rhino Liner?
Uh-huh.
Anyway, so it's like a bed coating material that I covered the entire thing at and covered all the seams.
Yeah.
And we've never actually had a problem with water getting in.
I think some of the newer models now come weatherproofed, but ours, we just wanted to make sure it was good.
The new ones, they don't, so here's what they say. They still leak. Just the stuff they made out of them doesn't deteriorate with water. So they didn't stop the leak. They just made it to where it wouldn't fall apart if it got wet.
Lovely.
So anyway, that's that.
Yep. And then,
I actually did not know. See this right here, this light?
yep.
So I can turn this light on to light up back here. I just found out because I'm never in the truck. That's our reverse light.
Oh.
This whole strip. It was the other day when you were driving and I was looking.
Oh.
I was like, I did not know my reverse lights was this giant LED strip.
The sad thing is I've been back here filming you and I still didn't notice. So now we got the railing up. Hi.
Bye. See y'all later.
Bye.